Yeah, I have a bad feeling about today. It's 6:15 in the morning and it is already raining in various places. Well, this is something. So sometime in the past, an entire cliff face collapsed all at once and sent this wave of enormous boulder debris flowing down into the little valley. You can just see how it moved and then finally stopped. It looks like a lava flow, which I guess it is very similar to, except it wasn't hot. Good morning. Today is day 62. Yesterday, day 61, we had our first real rain of the entire trip. Well, I say real rain because it was like big drops, but it didn't last very long. Just long enough for us to get all bundled up and then unbundle a little while later. Well, yeah, 60 days without serious rain. Now, I did have drizzle and stuff a couple days early on, but that didn't really count as actual rain. But today, the Garmin weather report, which I don't trust very much, is calling for thunderstorms. And judging from the sky this morning, I think it is probably correct in that assumption. There are already big clouds dropping rain all around the horizon. You can see the tendrils of the rain drifting down like jellyfish arms, tentacles. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite stormy and miserable today, which will definitely be a first. Not really looking forward to it, but everybody's got to have some bad days. And I think our first one is coming up. On the positive side, I found my windbreaker. I cultivate a habit of putting everything back in its place all the time so that I can find it again and know where it is. 2 nights ago, I had been wearing my windbreaker, and then it was a little warm, so I took it off, and I made a point of putting it back in the side pocket of my pack where I keep it. Except that I think my pack was the other way around from how I usually approach it. So I ended up shoving the windbreaker into the deep side pocket where I keep my tent. And then the next day, I just slid my tent right into that sleeve and pushed the windbreaker down all the way to the bottom, and then it was gone. But I found it this morning when I went to, last night. I found it last night when I pulled my tent out and realized, wait, there's still something down there. So I'm quite happy about that. OMG, it's a bridge. Wow, this must be like the third bridge we've had in the Sierra. Oh, so nice. So dry. The clouds sure are dramatic this morning. Well, I have to say I'm getting a little burned out on going up and down at 10,000 feet. This is hard work. Fortunately, once we get done with this 500-foot climb, it should be mostly downhill for the rest of the day, going down to Red's Meadow and Devil's Post Pile. Red's is unfortunately closed, so no town food for us. But no big passes today either. And then Donahue Pass tomorrow, which is another up, up, up. Then we'll get into the Yosemite section, which is probably the most physically demanding, arguably, of the entire trail. But we do have views. Can't complain about that. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, yesterday, I think we did somewhere around 5,500 vertical ascent and descent, all between 7,500 and 11,000 feet in altitude. Woof. You know, it's funny, in another place and time, this view right here would be a destination view. Like, you'd work a lot, spend a lot of time just to get to have a view like this. And for us, having been in the Sierra and seen so many views, it's just kind of another day at the office. I mean, it is beautiful, and I do appreciate it still, but I'm just kind of in that mindset of, all right, that's great, let's keep hiking, which is a shame. I need to figure out how to still appreciate everything that I see. We finally have some nice, smooth cruiser trail, and this is lovely. Cranking up the pace, making some good miles, which we really need today because we're racing the Thunderstorms. We were hoping to make 25 today because there's no passes, no major passes to go over. We'll see what happens. Did you know there was a volcano in the middle of Yosemite, or rather in the middle of the Sierra? Yeah, I didn't either. It's pretty cool. Well, we've been lucky about the storm so far. There's stuff over there, stuff to our south, but right where we are, we're kind of in a gap between, so I'm not going to complain about that. We'll see how long it lasts. Walking through an old fire area right here, getting close to Red's Meadow, which, as I said before, is closed during weekdays because of road construction this year. But there's a bridge out somewhere in that area, which I'm a little vague about the details, so we're going to have to sit down and study the map for a while and figure out exactly what route we're going to take through there. I was under the impression that Red's Meadow Resort was closed during the week because of the road construction, but they're open and it's very chill because there's no road access. So I got a huge bowl of ice cream, and Fugitive got a beer, and we raided the hiker box, and life is good. So this is the reason for the detour alternate that we were just on. But we got to swim in a lake because of the detour, so it's all good. So we're back on the PCT now. So Red's was an unexpected and pleasant surprise. Didn't know it was actually going to be open and available. And that was great. And then when we took the official reroute to get around the broken bridge, we ended up bypassing Devil's Post Pile, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. The lake swim was lovely. It was the warmest lake we've swum in, I think, so far. So we didn't have to jump out 30 seconds after we got in, which was nice. We're taking the official PCT, which means I am once again hiking part of the PCT that I have never hiked before. Last time I did this, I took the JMT, the John Muir Trail alternate, which I think, strictly speaking, the PCT through hiking permit does not allow us to take that section of the JMT, but a lot of PCT through hikers do so anyway, and they occasionally get yelled at by rangers. That's what I did last time, but this time I decided to take the official trail, just to see. Oops, got cut off there. Yeah, I was saying this time I decided to take the official trail just to see what it's like and compare the two. There are definitely fewer lakes. In fact, I think there are 0 lakes on this part of the PCT, but it's supposed to be a pretty nice ridge walk, so we'll see how that goes. And in terms of thunderstorms, I don't know, we've been very lucky so far. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so they may be running around for a couple more hours yet, but they're supposed to die out by evening. So it's quite possible we have gotten lucky, which would be great. Fortunately, that guy's behind us. I'm hearing rumbles of distant thunder, but it's not heading our direction. And that guy is ahead of us, but it's also not moving our direction. We really seem to be in a sweet spot, and I hope it stays that way. Oh, hey, look what I found. Irises. Yep, I think we lucked out and avoided the thunderstorms. I am quite pleased with the universe.